NBA free agency is here, and you know what? We have thoughts, we have opinions, and some other teams don't. We give our thoughts on what happened with Orlando, who they signed, who they didn't sign, were there's good moves, were there's good to not make a move, where Paul George went to Philly, what's going on with Denver, what the hell is going on with the Los Angeles Lakers, and what's going on with Boston. And then we get into some philosophical conversations about just life in general. If you do like what we're doing, don't forget to like and subscribe to us. We are wherever you find your podcast: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. We do have a Patreon, Sandlot Sports, so go ahead and contribute there. And don't forget to look us up on YouTube. Leave a comment, leave a like, follow us, watch our craziness. Welcome to the number one sports podcast in Sanford, Florida. This is Sandlot Sports. I am Adam Capperson. I'm here with Dorian Cody.
One more Klay in the Bay, guys.
Well, we'll talk about them in a minute. BJ Thomas first.
Magic fans are driving me nuts with this being upset about not signing Klay Thompson. It's like you ever miss an ex-girlfriend and it's because you had the memories of like the first 3 months you were together and you kind of missed the last 3 months you were together that caused the breakup?
Yeah.
They're remembering the first 5 years of Klay Thompson.
Right. Yeah, they remember like the 2015 to 2019 era.
These last few years of Klay Thompson have been rough. He's either been injured or not shooting.
Yeah.
So I am happy with KCP, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. I was happy with that signing. And he's a little younger. He's been more productive in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
And I mean, we're talking about a guy who did not score a point in his last playoff game.
Yeah. So let's start with the Magic first, because that is our hometown team. So you brought up the KCP signing. Great signing. Improvement over their starting shooting guard.
Yeah, I'm
Now,
happy with it.
surprise to me, they actually still retained Gary Harris, and he is a backup shooting guard, and that's where he's going to be. That's where he should be. KCP is slightly better defense, slightly better offense. So it's an upgrade. And then they basically just re-signed everybody. Gave Mo Wagner, gave Jonathan Isaac, gave even Gary Harris longer extensions and just more money for the year. And I think they still have like $15 million to spend this year if they want to, plus a mid-level exception for a veteran.
Did you see how Jonathan Isaac's contract is structured?
I did. All I saw was like the terms. I didn't see how it was
First
structured.
of all, it's discounted. He's making less than $20 million a year.
Oh, yeah.
It's front loaded. So it'll decrease over the next 3 years. And there's language in it that if he hurts a certain part of his body, which hasn't been specified, I'm assuming it's his knee, it voids everything.
Oh, okay.
So the Magic did quite well protecting themselves in that contract.
And Isaac and his agent knew that he probably wasn't going anywhere. He's got an injury risk. His offense has not progressed. So they knew like it was Orlando or nothing. And when they offered him an extension, even with the caveats, we're like, yep, sure, no problem.
Yeah.
And I don't mind it knowing that he's going to be coming off the bench because their second unit is shaping to be pretty special.
It looks good.
Yeah, it looks good on paper.
Yeah. Was Jonathan Isaac, was he in the top 10 in blocks last year?
I don't think he qualified number of games.
Oh, okay.
I'll pull it up, but yeah, I don't think he qualified number of games just because he was constantly hurt in and out of the lineup. Yeah, definitely not top 10. Let me see if he even qualified.
Very happy with the front loading though. That's intelligent.
Yes.
Let's
Okay,
just pay him now. We didn't do much this offseason. Let's spend the money while we have the available cap. And then we'll just keep moving on, and we're going to increase our salary cap with that contract. That'll give us more room to sign Paulo when necessary.
Yep.
Right.
So Isaac did qualify. He played 58 games. He was 15th in blocks.
15?
But yeah, I mean, like you said, it gives them room to maneuver when Franz, when Pio, when Suggs come up for extensions. So it gives them that flexibility. And if all the Magic fans are acting like last season was some fluke. Like, no, this team has grown up together. Mm-hmm. They are evolving. That last year was not a fluke, at least I hope not. But they just need to build on that. And we said going into this offseason, they needed guard help. They needed 3-point shooting help. They got it with KCP. Now I would like for them to sign a a point guard, a true point guard. Suggs is, from what I'm hearing, is growing into that role. So we'll see.
Yeah. Do you think Tyus Jones will fit well with us?
I think he would. It's interesting that he has not been signed yet by anybody, not just by the Magic, by anybody. And I think that's by design. I think the teams that go to sign him are going to sign him at a discount. And it's going to be one of those things like he signs like a 3-year, $35 million contract, which who am I to say, hey, $35 million is nothing? But that's what it's going to be.
No, understandable. Yeah.
So, but on the flip side of that, and BJ, you brought this up, the Magic fans online, which is a whole different shenanigan, are all upset that they didn't sign Klay Thompson. First of all, there's no way in hell he was coming here.
Yeah.
Just no way. Secondly, I didn't want him here. I mean, everybody remembers Klay from 2015 through 2019 when he was big game Klay, game 6 Klay. That was the thing. He ain't that guy anymore.
Yeah. He hasn't been right since knee problems.
No, not since he got hurt.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it was just force fed by the media, and I think the media put the Orlando Magic in there to make it seem that there were multiple teams. I don't really think that. I think the Magic knew, we're probably not getting Klay. I don't think the Magic really wanted him. I mean, there were rumors about it, but I don't really think the Magic really wanted him as the media was pushing it out to be.
The Magic got the Dallas Cowboy treatment this year, where everybody floats the Dallas Cowboys as a potential landing spot for a free agent, just to boost their value or force a signing with another team. That's all that happened to Orlando this year, unfortunately, because they had the salary cap to kind of trick people into thinking something was going to happen. That's most of that, in my opinion.
So now, and what I heard was, again, this is one of those things. Well, now that they've left, we can say this: that Klay was a dick behind the scenes. Like the way Draymond acted on the court was the way Klay was acting off the court, and so they were just happy just to get rid of him.
Yeah. I also read too that Klay felt disrespected, I guess, because of the number that they gave to him. But the thing that athletes have to understand is that, like, if you're not available in key moments, unfortunately, I mean, injuries happen, but that's always going to work against you. And also too, this notion of like you said before, like everybody's judging Klay what Klay used to be, and like you said, the last couple of years, Klay did not play well. No. Even on defense, he lost his stuff on defense to the point to where they were playing against the Nuggets, and you had Aaron Gordon beat Klay Thompson to the basket off the dribble. Not saying that Aaron Gordon is a bad player, but it's like Klay used to be a lockdown defender. He lost his step, man. And it happened.
It happened. And that's the thing. Like, we're not saying anything bad with Klay. Klay, great. He's been in the league since, 2012, 2011? He's done a lot for the game, done a lot for that team. He had some big moments. Father Time is undefeated.
Absolutely.
And people saw Father Time attack him in that playing game last year when he just did not show up against Sacramento.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm not paying for this. Like, sorry. Does it make Dallas better? Slightly, but I don't think it's going to put them over the top. I think it was a fluke they got to the finals anyways.
He didn't score a point in his last playoff game. That's concerning.
Yeah.
Right.
And everybody's like, well, it's one game. The biggest game of the year.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not impressed with that signing. I'm glad the Magic didn't get him. I mean, the last thing we need with these guys is an old guy who's disillusioned with the NBA and underperforming.
So Klay's last 4 postseason games, if you include the play-in as a postseason game, which LeBron wants us to do,
averaged 10 points.
9, 10, 8, 0 points.
That's off the top of my head, and that's way less than 10.
Yeah.
The 0 hurts.
Yeah. As some high school classmates of ours, I bet a 0 hurts.
Yeah.
Get your nickname.
So I guess my question is just kind of where does this leave Golden State?
Refreshed.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, too, like the Moody's and the Kamingas and the young guys, it gives them a chance to be able to grow. They don't feel as if they're seen like, hey man, like I have to outplay Klay Thompson. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure they had a respect for him because he won a championship with him. But now that he's gone, it's like, okay, now next man up. Now I can be that third person that or I could say that second person. I don't know who the third person. I don't know who the second person is going to be because Draymond's not really a scorer. I know that there were talks about Lauren Markkinen,
From
maybe like
Utah?
a trade. Yeah, from Utah, him going to Golden State. They were also talking about there was another player too, but he was out east. So Golden State is looking to for that next two-way guy
Yeah.
is
And
what they want.
and there's something to be said about the coaching staff going, Klay is our guy. Klay, you've been with us forever. You are our guy. Even though he didn't have it, put him in the starting lineup. You are our guy. Try to work him into the game. Try to work him off the bench. Now you don't have that. Like you said, now guys like Moody, like Peyton are going to step up
Mm-hmm.
and basically be forced to step up into the starting lineup. And there's something to be said about that. Okay, this distraction is gone.
Yeah,
Now, I personally think that they just need to completely start from scratch, keep Steph because he's the only one on that team, and just say, Steph, here's the deal. Klay is gone. We think we can get assets for Draymond. It's a business.
mm-hmm.
I don't know if Steph would buy that, but they need to get rid of Draymond.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
They're a bad season for blowing this whole thing up.
Yeah, and they were the 9 seed this year,
mm-hmm.
and I
Right.
mean they really haven't done well. They won the championship in 22. Other than that, it's been playing tournaments since
Yeah,
KD left.
yeah. And there were also talks of trading Wiggins to Toronto and getting I think is it Jake Prado the center, getting him and another like bench player. So Golden State is actually trying to work what I'm reading to see like what else can they do to be able to shape up their team. But
They're
I think
scraping.
also too, I won't be shocked to where they may have to blow it up. Even tell go to Curry and say, hey man, you want to compete for another championship? You got to give us another 3 4 years. You got to move Draymond, you got to move um, Wiggins, trust our young guys, and try to get some other guys in. And I can see Curry going, hey man, I want a shot at another championship. Because he did say on a I don't know if he was on a podcast or what, but he was saying like he would like to get one more ring because he has four. He want to get five.
They would all like to get one more. That's it's like
Yeah.
no, I'm good. I'm good with 4. That's just effing stupid. Of course he'd like to get one more.
You
Yeah.
can't say anything else.
Yeah,
That.
but he's not going to get it in Golden State this year. Probably
Mm,
not going to get it next year. And at what point, the guy, he's a shooter. He's not a banger. Like once it's gone, it's gone.
right. Right. So if you're Golden State, and if Curry says, "Hey, well, move me to, can you get me to a team where I can have a chance to win another championship?" If you're Golden State, is that a ah, type of relief because you already won your championship with them, and now you can actually put yourself in position to be good again? Because
I
that
mean,
contract is over their head too.
yeah, the contract is $51 million a year.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
insane.
yeah. If he opts in, I think they said something he's going to get like 60. Like I think next year, 1 year, 62 million. Oof. So, mm,
And if I'm them, I'm opting in.
yeah.
Yeah, because if he opts out, you know what he'll do? He'll try to negotiate for more. That's what these guys do.
Yeah.
You know, and so yeah, so next year he's due 55 million. The year
Okay.
after that, he's due 59 million.
Mm. So it goes up.
Yeah, well, it goes up 5% every year. That's a
Mm.
standard NBA contract. He'll be 37 when his contract is over.
Mm.
I mean,
Have we
I
heard
would
anything
hate to
about?
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, go ahead. I just wonder if we heard anything about Buddy Hield.
I haven't heard anything about Heald either.
I was really hoping the Magic could make a play for him.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
they still might.
between him and Pope, that would change our 3-point outlook. That's for sure.
Yes,
And that was the biggest problem with the team. They can score in the paint and they can play defense. If they could just get some outside shooting,
and really,
things
if they
would
can
look
just
up for
get,
them.
you know, they got Pope for for threes. If they can get one more, clear everyone out, like Polio work in and Fawn slash in, it's great. Yeah, I haven't heard about Heald. I haven't heard about Jones. There's still some guys that are outstanding. Let me see. Free agents, 2024 free agents that are still left. So, of those that are left, LeBron, but we know his situation. Gordon Hayward, he should retire. Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan, Buddy Hield is still available. Gary Trent, Markel Fultz is still available. I don't know if they're bringing him back. Malik Beasley and Tyus Jones are still available.
I have a soft spot for
So
Fultz, but it's just not working.
yeah, and so do I. Like I hope he signs somewhere
Yeah.
and stays in the NBA because his career was done. They traded 2 second-round draft picks for him as a flyer. So I'm glad he was able to turn his career around. I hope he signs with somebody. Just hope it's not here.
I
So
don't
yeah,
see anything on Hoops Hype about Buddy Hield.
there's still some shooting guards still available. Point guards ain't much. I mean, it's Tyus Jones and then it's like Monte Morris. So but I will say this. So our takes might be stupid, might be idiotic, might be borderline mentally challenged, but no one has ever accused us of nepotism because, frankly, our kids aren't dumb enough to do what we do. The Lakers, on the other hand, what are your thoughts? I mean, I have mine, but
I mean, them not being able to get anyone to play with LeBron says a lot. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. I think I think overall, like the league and everyone seeing how LeBron operates when it comes to teammates and things of that nature, and people just getting tired of it. Even players like, yeah, LeBron is a great player, but I don't want to play with him. I want to be able to go to a team where I can have a say so, and go to a team where we can contribute collectively than to play with LeBron, and then as soon as something happens to where he's upset or things like that, you have to worry about your job. So it's unfortunate that he wasn't able to get another, star player or pro all star type of player to be able to play with him. It actually speaks volume, actually.
and instead of getting a prized free agent to come to the Los Angeles Lakers, let's think about that statement just as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
The Los Angeles Lakers could not get like high quality free agents. That I don't know if it says anything. Probably the reason why is because everyone looks around the league and goes, "Oh, their coach was handpicked by their star player, who no one
Mm-hmm.
wants to play with, off his podcast. Their second round draft pick is his son,
Mm-hmm.
who averaged LeVar Ball numbers in college."
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, um, if you're an organization, if you're going to allow a player to make uh those type of decisions. I mean, it's like, do you blame the player? Or do you blame the organization?
Blame the
Because
organization.
a player can only do what an organization allows him to do.
I mean,
Jeannie Buss could be like Pat Riley, be like, no, this is what we're doing, and this is how it's going to go. And if you notice, Pat Riley is the only person that I've heard LeBron James like speak like with such respect and all and admiration, because it's like Pat Riley, he recognized that, hey, LeBron is a superstar. LeBron can't get us a championship. I can't let him run the team. If I let him run the team, who am I? Why am I here? That's why every time LeBron James, because for what I read, LeBron James made a lot of suggestions when he was with the Heat, and they were shut down every single time.
so
No, we ain't doing that. No, we ain't doing
Dorian,
Mhm.
how many kids do you have?
3.
3. Have you ever let them make decisions and just gone, yeah, you guys go ahead. You guys have this.
When it comes to like the cereal that they're eating, ice cream, very minuscule shit. Yes.
Have you
Where
ever
we gonna live?
have you ever
You know.
said, "Hey, where should we spend our money?"
No, hell no, hell no. I'll be like the Lakers. Hell no.
And that's my point. They basically let the kids run the family.
Yep.
And when you do it once, you'll keep doing it with that child, and then the other children will want to do it too.
Absolutely.
As a parent, you shut that shit down immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, Bill Belichick is known for berating Tom Brady in practice
Yeah.
because everyone knew, oh, if he can tear into him, he'll tear into me.
Yeah. 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 There's definitely a psychology behind it, because it's like, once you let a player of LeBron's caliber starts to make demands and dictate things, then you have type of hiring to where you took a person off a podcast to make them coach. Where you had Sam Cassell, you had JB Bickerstaff, uh, other people who's been waiting in line, who's paid their dues to be able to be a coach and actually has some type of coaching experience. Now, does JJ Redick know the game? He from what I've seen, it sounds like he knows the game. He speaks about it, but it's difference between knowing the game and coaching the game.
Okay, so I will say this, that amongst the three of us, we know the game. Okay, we know basketball pretty well. Dorian, you've played organized basketball in high school. BJ, you play pretty frequently pickup, and you understand the game. Knowing the game, knowing the intricacies of the game is one thing. Coaching the game and understanding egos is a completely different story.
Well, I would say that everybody that got to the NBA understands the game enough to coach it. The question is, are you good enough at dealing with personalities that need to be wrangled? That's the question.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
And that is a huge problem in business just as a whole. Business, especially like in my industry, they're like, "Oh, you're a great coder. You can now manage coders." I'm like, well, no, hold on.
That's not how that works.
It don't work that way.
No, it doesn't work that way. It's just
Right.
it's very frustrating. Yeah, the management is the key. That's what made Phil Jackson so great. It wasn't that he knew basketball better than everybody else. He was a better manager of personalities.
Yeah.
And I'm glad.
He had Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, and Michael Jordan on the team at the same time.
Yeah.
Has there been a better manager of personalities in the NBA ever?
Yeah.
No, maybe Red Albrecht.
Maybe Pat Riley?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you brought up JB Bickerstaff. Okay. Now he went to Detroit, which is a raging dumpster fire. I think that's a great signing by them. And it was interesting that he went to Detroit, and like a day or two later, it was announced that Cleveland re-signed Donovan Mitchell to an extension. I have a feeling that it was basically like him or me, and they went, "Well, we're gonna ride with Donovan," and he was like,
Yeah.
"Bye."
Yeah.
But I think it's a great hire by Detroit. BJ and I experienced this collectively during the playoffs when Cleveland lost Donovan Mitchell against Boston. Obviously, there was a talent differential.
Absolutely.
That team played hard.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
going into game three, when was it game three? Yeah, it was game three that Mitchell got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Going into that game, the line moved like 5 points when he got hurt. They were in that game in the fourth quarter with like nobodies. He got that team to play hard for him. He'll do the same thing in Detroit.
Yeah.
That's the kind of coach you want. You don't want the guy that's going to joke around on a podcast.
Right. Right. So I'm curious to know. So, okay, that's LeBron's guy, but then you got other individuals that's in that locker room. I know they have to be giving him a side eye, like, wait a minute, I just played against this dude like 4 years ago. Like,
Yeah.
now this motherfucker coach me. I'm supposed to trust this motherfucker. You know what I mean? So it's you got to get the buy-in from the whole team, because what's going to happen is JJ Redick is going to get on Anthony Davis. No, fuck you. What you gonna tell me? Then LeBron is going to have to play player coach. Hey man, hey, listen to what he got to say to stand in third. All it takes is one incident to where they lose a game horribly, and then those true feelings are going to come out. Udonis Haslam said it. He said, JJ Redick. There's players that's on the Lakers that play with JJ Redick. If they don't respect him as a person, they're not going to respect him as a coach. So it's like he might be a dumpster fire in LA, man.
No, there's no might about it. It is a dumpster fire in LA.
Yeah, but it's like I can see the regular season, man. Somebody just taking some gas and just just adding it to the fire, man. Because it's like having the right coach not only manages different personalities, but it's like you have to have someone in there to where you can trust that, hey, in these late games, somebody who's going to be able to draw certain plays, right? Who's not going to be influenced by the best player on the team. Like you say, okay, all right, this is what makes sense running this play. Let's say for instance, let's say if Rui Hachimura, let's say he has the hot hand, right? Keep feeding it to him. You don't want to feed it to LeBron's Eagles. Like, yeah, I know he has a hot hand, but I'm trying to get 20 points so I can meet, this a milestone, things of that nature. You want a coach that's going to be able to soundly make decisions to put everybody in the best situation.
What's going to happen the first time that LeBron does something wrong? Because it happens. He's human.
Yeah.
As much as Windhorst doesn't want to admit it, but he is human. And JJ leads into him to correct him. And LeBron turns to him and goes, "Motherfucker, I got you this job."
Right. 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 Exactly. It's only a matter of time.
So,
it's a matter of time.
And said it right last week. JJ made a mistake. Like, he's going to take this job. They're probably going to win 40, 45 games because that's just what they do. Make the play-in tournament, maybe a 6 seed, maybe they're overachieving, get the 6 seed. His career is done after this.
Yeah. Or I can see him pulling the Billy Donovan.
Yeah, it's very possible he gets another job. Basketball people are going to understand what's happening. I'm not worried about him getting another job. I think he's made his first job extremely hard on himself.
Yeah. Yeah. Or I can see him pulling a Billy Donovan. He set off the first half of the season, and the next thing you know it, hey, I don't think this is for it.
Yeah, fuck this.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I thought I wanted this job, but due to health reasons, blah blah blah, got to step down.
Did you just say he's gonna pull a Petrino?
Yeah, Pacino, I can see it happening. The amount of pressure he's under. He's a first-year coach of one of the historic franchises in the world, and you got arguably one of the best players of all time. Like, is this your first year? I want that first year. No, sir.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
So, and one more wish of good luck to the Philadelphia 76ers. I hope you enjoy your MASH unit that you have out there as a roster. So our issue as the Philadelphia 76ers is that our star player, Joel Embiid, is always hurt and doesn't come through in the playoffs. So we're going to rectify this by signing Paul George, who's always hurt and doesn't come through in the playoffs? I'm missing something.
I mean, they had to. I mean, what other choice do they have though?
I don't know.
No one else wanted to come to Philly, really.
No, and I'm glad they signed Maxey to his extension because he needed it.
Yeah.
Now, what was interesting about the George sign, and I sent you guys this in the group chat, at least I thought I did. One of the reporters for FanDuel had reported that it was looking less and less likely that Philly was going to sign Paul George. Mm-hmm. Okay, that the interest had waned, I believe was the exact quote. Now, what's interesting is when he tweeted that out, the odds, because apparently now you have odds of where these players are going to go. The odds on FanDuel for Paul George going to Philly went down. So a bet to him going to Philly would have gotten you more money. ESPN and Fox are reporting that was bullshit.
Speaking of betting, I had an idea.
Okay.
I think we should do this on the show. Dorian, you're not getting involved in this, are you?
Betting? I'm not a betting man.
All right. Anyways.
Yeah, he plays fantasy football and loses every year.
That's it. I keep that fantasy football.
It's coming. In the next couple of weeks, because I want it while the odds would be the best for us to do this. I think we should bet on all the division winners in the NFL as a parlay.
I was thinking that. So what I was thinking about doing, and we're just going to brainstorm here in front of everybody. It'll be our production meeting.
Yeah, production meeting, public.
Is that when we do our previews of the divisions, we pick the winner and we collectively pick a Sandlot Sports winner. That's going to be our winner.
Put your money where your mouth is.
Exactly. And then we'll parlay all those picks together. That will be our.
And then you and I'll bet Dorian's picks. So if he wins, we get the fucking money.
Yes. Hey, we're taking the financial risk. Isn't that what they say about the CEOs? They take the risk.
You put the information out there. That's like betting. Some random ESPN Talking Heads picks. That's all we're doing.
Yeah. But see, the difference is we are actually accountable for our picks.
Yes. And
we keep track of them and we report on them.
I'll buy you a chicken wing.
He's singing the chicken wing.
One rib, one chicken wing.
One rib. Can I get a half rack? No, one rib.
Sure is hungry.
But yeah, I thought about doing that. Like because we're getting close to preview time. I think we got a couple more weeks, and then it'll be every week we'll have football to talk about. And BJ, I like your idea of we pick the winner, we put our money where our mouth is, and right before the season starts, then we start doing okay. Which one of these do we want to put in a parlay?
And by November, we'll all be broken crying.
That's okay.
And Dorian will be in third place in fantasy football.
I hope not. I gotta win one, especially in our league. I gotta at least win one.
What do you say, dude? Our league is not. What do you mean, especially in our league?
I know our league is like badass. I'm saying no.
I would challenge somebody to join our fucking league. Yeah. Like, good luck trading with people.
Right, exactly.
You ain't get nobody but bench players. You get my fifth receiver if you want it.
Dude, I feel as if our fantasy football league is kind of like we're of course we're all like our own GMs, but it's so intense because each move each week can make a break because you're thinking, all right,
motivated by hate and pride.
Oh, of course, especially the times when I'm playing you, I tell myself, okay, all right, 9 times out of 10, I may lose this one. So what players do I have? Because I'm pretty sure if I meet him in the playoffs, things are going to change. Like I'm talking about, like every single person that I play against, I always think of, hey, I may meet this person in the playoffs, and I look at their roster to see who's hurt. Like it gets to the point where like I'm like when I get home, I'm on like ESPN, like just looking at shit because I'm like I have to be able to make the playoffs. Have to make the playoffs.
Gotcha. It's all for nothing if not.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, you're psyching yourself out. So
Shut up, Adam. Just let him do it. God dang, we don't need any psychology.
Adam's trying to save me
Quiet
from
over
myself.
Yeah, no, let him psych himself
I
out.
appreciate
Let him overthink. Please overthink it. Please overthink it. I just gave y'all 5 running backs of death last year. Nobody wanted. I tried. Everybody did running backs. I was trying to make trades. It was like, no, I'm not trading with him. Well, good. Eat these running backs.
Oh, who's that running on the floor? Oh, that's Achan. Okay, cool. Bye.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody wanted him till his knee went out, and then he wasn't worth a damn, unfortunately, because they were trying to baby him till he got to the playoffs. And the problem is with that, I don't think they ever let him get his groove back.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a fine line between saving somebody and when they're coming back from a long absence like that, you got to get them a rhythm.
Right.
Well, I think it was the great John Madden said that for every game you miss, it takes about a quarter to get back into it.
Yeah,
a quarter of game action.
And that's a quarter of playing, not 2 touches in a quarter.
No, it's like a quarter of actual playing, getting hit, getting the game speed. So if you miss 6 weeks, it's going to take you about a week and a half to really get back to what you need.
And here's the thing with a game breaker like Achan. If you keep pulling him in and out of the game, the defense is betting he's getting the ball this play.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know. I didn't like the strategy. I understood the thought process behind it, but I didn't like it. And I wouldn't have done it. Some people, these guys are professionals. He did his rehab. They held him out a week or two, if I remember correctly. They held him out a week or two longer than they needed to, according to the timeline the doctors gave him. At that point, cut him loose. If it happens again, that's some freak shit.
Yeah.
You know, just let him go. Let him play. But the Dolphins' backfield's also it's a little heavy. They should invest some of that money elsewhere. They got Jeff Wilson, Mostert, and Achan. Of course, Achan's basically a drop in the bucket. What was he, a 4th round pick? 5th round pick?
So, and that's the question. You know, obviously we'll talk about this more later, but with the Dolphins, like that offense is stacked at the skill positions, like just fucking stacked. That's why they scored 70 points in a game. The fact that they scored 9 in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Did they even score that much?
Well, it was the last quarter of the season. It was discovered that if you throw Tua off timing, it's over.
Yeah. You know, and Hawk Tua just is not good under pressure.
Got one in there.
I apologize.
I saw,
They scored 7, not 9 points. I apologize.
Dorian, was it you that sent me that video where that girl broke it down?
Mm-hmm.
It's not the hawk. You don't want the hawk. I don't want to spit a loogie on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just need the Tua.
Yeah.
Thank you for correcting that, because I don't want post nasal drip on my dick. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I know this upcoming season. I know Tua's gonna be like, all right, guys, cut it out. I can see him in the stadium. Tua.
It's gonna be the defensive audible.
Yeah, it's like
Omaha, Hot Tua.
What's that on my neck? People sitting in the stands getting spit on and shit.
But yeah, they were 1-8, 1-9 against. I'm sorry, 1-6 against teams with a winning record. 1-6.
That's not going to do it.
No, that's not going to do it. So, I have one more NBA thing to talk about. So Boston didn't really make any moves per se because, well, they won the championship. Why should they? They basically just signed all of the players to the maximum amount of money they could possibly sign. I think they have $1 billion lined up in their contracts. And then the ownership went, hey, we've guaranteed all these guys for the next 5 or 6 years. We're selling the team now.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Absolutely brilliant business move. You guys pay them. Because, well, if you have them on a contract, I'm sure that's part of the team value.
Yep.
So now that we've increased the team value, even though these contracts are gigantic, you pay them.
That's right.
Good luck.
This is your problem now.
Yes. It's no mi problem.
So I had a question for you guys. If Denver doesn't improve their bench, does Boston repeat?
No, I don't think it's a Denver conversation. So I think it's a conversation about all the other teams are improving.
Okay.
Because as I just said, Boston didn't sign anybody; they just extended their guys. And
Well,
frankly, I don't
what
think
does Denver do?
but Denver lost KCP, and I don't think they've signed. I
Yeah,
think
I
they
think they signed him.
signed
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Denver's
Najee
in trouble
Muhammad or
also.
something, or Najee Muhammad or someone. Denver didn't
Denver's in
improve.
trouble also.
Yeah,
They've not done a thing.
no, but Minnesota's coming.
Yeah.
OKC's coming.
Oh yeah,
New York is coming.
yeah. Nova.
I mean, that's the thing we didn't talk about. Like the
Yeah,
Knicks are coming.
yeah, yeah, yeah. If they could have found a way, which they couldn't, but if they were able to keep Hartenstein, that they would have been scary. I mean, they're scary now, but I mean, but the thing is, they don't have a backup for Mitchell Robinson, so I don't know who they're gonna put as backup.
Yeah, right now they don't, but I'm sure they're going to find somebody. But that offense is scary. And here's the interesting thing about that offense. Okay, between Bridges' contract and Brunson's contract, they actually make less than Bradley Beal right now.
Mm. Wow.
They make less together than Jaylen Brown. So that's going to be an interesting team.
Yeah. Um. OKC picking up Hartenstein is going to help them out tremendously,
Well, that
and
was
I'm
the one
pretty
piece they were
sure.
missing.
Yeah, that's the piece they're missing, right? Exactly.
Do you
Because
feel like they
they,
overpaid a little
please
bit?
understand, they got him because of them. The
Yeah.
Jokers. That's what he got. That's what he got. I
No,
don't think
no, no, no. I'm going to correct you. They got him because they were destroyed on the glass against Dallas.
right. Yeah, that too. Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Because they tried to get Gafford, couldn't do it. Help Dallas get Gafford and realize, oh shit, this was a bad idea.
Yeah. Right. That's going to help a lot. But yeah. So I'm looking at the East, and I don't see I don't see a team. Well, outside of the Knicks, right now, the Knicks is the only team that can challenge that I see that'll be a challenge to um, the Celtics.
Okay,
I
let's.
believe that I think Cleveland lost someone. Cleveland lost somebody from the bench. They lost a key person from their bench, and he's a free agent. Um, but
Well,
it's like,
they still haven't signed Garland yet.
oh shit, oh, that's huge. They definitely gonna need him if they want to be in that top 3, 4 tier, or
Yeah,
that top tier of the East. They're definitely gonna need him.
yeah. Let's look
Um,
at the playoff teams in the East right now. Okay, Boston, obviously. New York, we just talked about them. Milwaukee, who I think is going to fall off, but they still have Giannis, still have Dame. Cleveland, the Magic, Indiana, Philly,
okay, yeah,
and Miami.
yeah, yeah,
Now, can any of those teams beat Boston in a 7-game series? Some of them can.
yeah,
Some of them can't. But some of them can. So I don't think it's just a clear, hey, let's just move Boston to the finals and just be done with it. And
yeah,
just give them the title against whomever comes out of the West.
yeah. That's true. What I learned with Boston is how you beat Boston is with length and hitting your free throws.
Yeah.
Because Boston struggled against the Magic in the regular season because of the length.
Well, and here's the thing. Had Minnesota not had a brain fart against Dallas, is Ant holding up the title?
Ooh. They should, yeah. I would say yeah. I would say yeah.
So
Because here's the thing.
that's the thing.
They have size. They have them. Because if you're Jason Tatum, you're gonna have to guard Ant.
Yep. It's going to take a lot out of you.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to guard Ant. Jalen Brown, 9 times out of 10, he's gonna have to I forgot. I think it's McDaniels. You got McDaniels, which he's legit 6'9". He looks 6'10", but he's like what 6'9", two. I think he's like 205 or something. Like he has some length too. Um, and then on top of that, if you look at the bench, um, I can't think of the sixth man of the year. Can't think of his name right now, but you have
Nas Reed.
him. Yeah, Niles Reed, Nasty Niles as they call him. I mean, he's a fire starter on offense. So they had the pieces. It's just like you said, they had a brain fart against Dallas. They were. I think they underestimated how good Luca was. I
No,
think they knew he was good, but they're like, oh, this motherfucker great on offense.
I think what you saw was what happens all the time in any sport. This team was built to beat that team.
Right.
This team focused everything on beating that team. Then when they beat that team, they don't know what to do afterwards.
Yeah.
Happens all the time.
Yeah.
Minnesota was built to beat Denver.
Yeah.
When they beat Denver, it was like they won the finals.
Yeah.
They didn't think that Dallas was going to beat them because they just beat the team they were designed to beat.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Dallas came out, punched him in the mouth, and it was all over
It
from there.
recovered. Yeah. It never recovered. Yeah. Yeah.
So I believe, BJ, you had a topic you wanted to discuss.
I feel like it's pretty universal. I feel like everybody can identify with this. At least most of us. Dorian, you've attempted this recently. I talked to Adam, and he at one point had attempted it a few years ago, anyways. Have any of you tried dating recently?
Obviously not, but
This shit is fucking nuts. Anybody else agree? Dorian, want to help me out
Yeah.
here? I mean,
Like I'll say this, man. Coming out of a divorce and starting to dating again, one of the things that you start to realize is that, oh shit, I've been out of the game for a long time, right? And then two, you start to realize that people's expectations can be unrealistic,
yes.
right?
yeah,
Like I'm sure you heard about the state of Florida as being like the worst state to date,
The worst state to date.
the
yes.
worst state to date.
Yeah.
You guys have any opinions on why?
Well, I would say this that
You
uh,
mean
Oh, this
you
gonna
mean
be
most
good.
of the state being in a state of constant heat stroke?
as about this, well, there's that. There's this the fact that everything in the state's trying to kill you. The air is trying to kill you. The bugs are trying to kill you. The pollen is trying to kill you. On top, if you survive all of that, the biggest problem with with dating the state of Florida is that most of the prized fish are localized in a few ponds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they got out of the little ponds.
Yeah.
The little ponds have turned into like the stinking mosquito infested swamp water shit.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this is a male female thing. It's pretty much across the board.
That's I wasn't trying to go there.
I'm making sure that it's not taken that way because I don't want it to turn into like an attack on any specific sex. So, but it is just nuts. Like, I feel like a lot of people are punching way above their weight class. Like they're expecting things that in reality they probably aren't going to get.
Yeah.
Well, and I think a lot of people, they're not, I'm going to sound like Freud here, they're not self actualized enough to do self evaluations of themselves.
Yeah.
Like, they can't look in a mirror and see that, you know what, I'm a 5. Like,
I might get to 7, 8 on the best day.
like I could shave real nice. I can put on a nice suit and tie, look like a 7, possibly 7.5. That's my max, and that's
might-
not every day.
I might be able to punch up to an 8 on my best day.
Maybe.
Hold on to it. It's going to be tough.
Yeah. So I need to kind of focus on either improving myself or
Getting
focus
more-
on my weight class.
Yeah.
Yeah. Focus on your weight class. I I feel like I'm attempting to focus on my weight class, and it's still full of a bunch of fucking Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Full of a bunch of fucking Looney Tunes.
Exactly. And I'll tell you this too.
Now, hold on.
Oh, what?
Is that
What?
because of the pond you're fishing in, or is that because of the weight class level that you're in? Is it a combination of both?
Now that's a good question. It could be a little bit of both. I know my pond is stagnant. I know that only turtles live there. Turtles and mosquitoes. It's tricky. It's just a tricky situation. You know what else I think has gone downhill is communication. I
Yes.
think people are not able to hold conversations. And
No.
that's terrible. That's absolutely terrible.
And it's a combination of a couple of things. It's a not being able to pick up the phone and talk to somebody. I know when I was dating my wife now, we would talk for every day for probably 30 to 45 minutes on the phone. She would call me on the way home from work. It would be late, and we would talk as she got off work, talk to her car, talk to get to her house. We would do that every single day. Most people don't do that. It's a 5-minute conversation. How quickly can I get off the phone because this makes me nervous? And can I text you?
And there can be no silence or the conversation has to end. Like you can't even like take a breath.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or if you can't be awkward with the person that you're trying to be with, it's going to be a tough road to hoe.
Yeah. Now, it's one thing if you're talking over the phone. Sometimes silence. You don't know if there's silence on the other side or if the phone lines are going down like that. I get that per se, but it's okay to be at a restaurant and just be quiet. It's okay just to be somewhere on a bench or by a lake or beach. It's Florida. We do have beaches, and just be quiet and just enjoy being with each other.
No, I got to make noise constantly.
Yeah, I basically have to like vibrate because I can't stop moving.
Yeah, I don't understand it. So, yeah, there's a combination of things happening. Lack of communication, including poor conversational skills, the inability to keep a text message chain going, and man, a couple dinners I've been out on, just like holy shit, did you learn to talk? Do you know what a full sentence is? Why are we going through this?
No, and not just do you know what a sentence is? Do you know where to stop a sentence? And do you know what a run-on sentence is?
And you know what bugs me is and now I'm only speaking one-sided here. I'm sorry, but sometimes the women that I've talked to, it seems like they just want you to keep them talking. They don't have any real genuine interest in finding out stuff about you or asking questions. They just want you to keep them talking about whatever they're talking about. So you can pretty much, oh really? That's crazy. And just keep going like that in a cycle that doesn't repeat itself, and they will just keep going.
I don't think that's a gender problem. I think it's a societal problem.
Okay.
Also, too, I believe that. Well, to be realistic, like dating is an issue everywhere, not just Florida. Because I have friends everywhere, whether it's Atlanta, whether it's California, New York. Dating is bad everywhere.
I think it's a time period thing.
Yeah, it's a time period thing. Absolutely, because you have women who say, okay, well, if you want me to date you, these are the things you have to do, and it's unrealistic. And you also have guys that's like, hey, wait a minute. So the odds, so the odds are 10 women to 1 man. Why am I gonna settle down?
Well,
So when you have those two going in line with each other,
and let's not overlook the elephant in the room here. Okay, so again, I haven't been single since 2016. That's when I met my wife. Okay, but back then it was a big thing for I need to meet somebody. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go on an app. I'm gonna look at the picture real quick and swipe.
Just a meat market.
And it's just a meat market.
Yeah.
You don't get to know anybody. You could have swiped past 3 or 4 people that have been really good matches for you and your lifestyle.
Yeah.
And now here you are, following your eyes instead of your brain.
And that goes back to reevaluating yourself. knowing, okay, look, I'm a 5. If I see a girl, okay, if she's a 9, I ain't gonna eat Y because she's gonna blow me off. 8, maybe, you know, but if she's a 6 or a 7, let me not blow her off. Let me look at her profile, find out who she is. Do we meet together on a personal level? Because not only is that a better relationship, but that's going to increase just your happiness as a person overall. And by the way, men, women, whomever's listening to this, everybody has baggage.
Yeah.
Everybody, especially when you're dating in your 30s and 40s. They're gonna have kids. They're gonna have an ex spouse. It's just the way it is.
You said that earlier, and I wanted to kind of hold off until today to talk about that. Everybody has baggage at all ages. You bring baggage from your family, how you were raised, how you were treated in younger friendships and relationships. So everybody has baggage. It's to what degree are you willing to deal with the person's baggage that you're talking to?
Yep.
Everybody has baggage. And if they don't have baggage, it's like a cake. It'll be done soon.
Yeah. And if you can't see their baggage, it's hidden. And if it's hidden baggage, they don't want to show it. And there's a reason why.
Mm-hmm.
Because, again, I didn't experience this, but I know it's a thing for people to hide their children when they first start dating people. Why would you do that?
Mistake. Yeah, because they're coming with you.
Yeah, I joke that my daughter was on my first date with my wife. Like, because I had custody of her, and it was my night, and I wasn't going to leave her alone, so just brought her with us. Because
cool.
like this is who I am. It's a package deal. Take it or leave it.
That's pretty cool.
So it's just the way things are, and people need to understand that they have baggage too. They are not perfect.
Yeah, that's kind of tough to people to realize. Like you said, nobody's like can analyze themselves properly. I think it's a very rare quality to find in somebody who can say, "Oh, I need to do just this, or I need to adjust this, or I am this, I am that." And that's something I've tried to personally improve on over the last few years is to understand that, maybe I do this, and I probably do that, and maybe I shouldn't. So, yeah, it's a tough road out there.
And
So I guess what I'm saying is, when you do find somebody, latch onto that motherfucker.
yes,
Yeah.
The line from Good Will Hunting is not just a line from a movie. Is you're not perfect, she's not perfect, but are you guys perfect together?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And like we were talking earlier, and you mentioned red flags. Everybody's got fucking red flags, especially when it's something that's so personal as what you want, what you're looking for in a person. Like, I just don't. The red flag thing, like, I mean, that should be like limited to abuse.
Yeah.
Whatever abuse that is, whether it be a sexual predator, physically abusive, mentally, emotionally abusive, that's what red flags should be. Almost everything else is just about manageable if you care enough for that person.
Yeah.
So they leave the toothpaste without the cap on it. Is that enough to end the relationship? And if it is, do you have a problem?
Yeah. I cannot tell you how many times I've been criticized this year for the way I load the dishwasher. And my wife will get on to me all the time. It's like, you loaded the dishwasher incorrectly. And I'm going to do it. But what she would tell her friends all the time is, he may not load the dishwasher the way I like it. He may not fold the towels the way I like them. But it is done.
Yeah.
And it's
that's what I would
not
say.
worth screwing up the relationship over something so tiny.
I'd be like, hey, is there food on the dishes? If there's not food on the dishes, we can move on. We can go on about our day.
That's basically what she's like, whatever. Like, it's either he loads the dishwasher the way I don't like it and he has to do a couple dishes by hand, or I have to do it, so let him do it.
Yeah. Or you take over and I watch TV. What do you want to do?
Yeah, so she's just like, whatever. And more people just need to go, like, yeah, it may not be the exact way that I want it, whatever it is, whether it's laundry, dishes, whatever. But does it matter in the grand scheme
Yeah.
of things? Does it really matter?
And that's another thing with like the self analyzing and stuff. Like there's a guy at work that thinks everything has to be done his way. He doesn't understand there's 100 different ways to do this that'll all come out with the same result. You just have OCD.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for you, my OCD is fucking with people with OCD.
You know, at work constantly, like I'll have developers, they will go off on a tangent. This is how it's got to be done. This is how it's going to be developed. This is how it's going to be architectured. And I would sit there and go, what are you trying to accomplish? Like, what are you trying to do? Like at the end of the day, well, I need to do this. No. What's the requirement? What are you trying to do? Let's focus on that and then let everything else matter. And, take that same approach to relationships. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to find the perfect unicorn that will do everything you want and is a 10 and is fantastic? Or are you trying to find a lasting relationship with someone that you love? Which is it?
That's a good question.
And when you answer that question, that will tell you everything you need to know. If you want to be like these red hat people online that want a underage version that they can mold, that's fine. You're fucking creepy and you can go away. If you want an adult who you can love and cherish, they're not going to be perfect. It is what it is. Deal with it.
Good talk. Glad we had it.
Yep.
We need to get that out there for the people. It is tricky. It's something that I've noticed. The reason I brought it up and I want to talk about it because it's not just me. I've talked to some friends about it too. Like it's a different group of people, and unfortunately, like if you get too much younger than us, let's say you decide to date somebody 8 years younger than us, which as adults is not that big a deal. That puts them at what, 35? There's a huge difference in the type of person they are and the type of person we are.
Yeah.
Typically.
My wife
We're
is 5
speaking in
years younger than me.
generalizations. Yeah, but we're speaking in generalizations.
Yep.
It's a huge difference. So I mean, fuck.
Well, and I say that my wife is 5 years younger than me, but just that there's a generational difference. There's
Yeah.
things that I grew up with that she didn't, and we joke with my daughter all the time is I didn't have the internet growing up. Okay, it's a thing. So the internet was not for consumer use until 1993. We didn't have it till like 95, until I was 14 years old. Okay, I'm sure you guys are about the same. My wife, when she was 8, had the internet connected to her house. That's basically all she remembers. It's 5 years difference. Completely different memory.
Yeah, it's crazy that she didn't get to experience dial-up internet.
Oh,
That was such a great noise.
She did. She had dial-up, but
Where the hell does she live?
Columbus.
Oh, that explains it.
Yeah, the Sea of Sadness.
Yeah, rust and death
Yep.
and
But
destruction.
to your point, so like 43 years old. If you're 43 like me and you're dating somebody who's 33, 34 years old, it's a completely different upbringing. You can't really talk about, hey, I did this growing up, because it was completely different. Kids in the early 2000s, they weren't left home alone. Even in the kids who were born in the 90s, they were not left home alone like we were. They were not just dropped up, bus dropped you off and you go home. It raises a different kind of mentality of person. And you can still interact with people of different age gaps, but this goes back to the self-actualizing thing earlier. You have to understand where those differences are and accept them. And if you can't, you're not going to do well together.
also too, sacrifice is key too, man. Like if you have if you have one person who's willing to put in the work to get themselves better, then the other person's like, well, yeah, like you have all the issues, so you do all the work. You let me know how that goes. Never gonna work out.
Well, that goes back to you have to understand that you are broken too.
Right. Absolutely.
I, here's the thing though. Also, like I've been in a couple of relationships where I've done a lot of sacrificing, and there hasn't been so much on the other end. And I'm sure I've been in relationships where it's been quite the opposite. But just speaking from the ones where I've done the sacrificing, I mean, after you get burned a couple times, I think you
Mhm.
have to get to a point in the relationship where you're ready to sacrifice for that person. And some relationships don't make it that far.
Yeah.
And some of the other halves aren't willing to work to get to that point or understand what the other person may be dealing with.
Like for you to be in a functional relationship with whomever, you have to be willing to sacrifice and know that other person is too. And,
Yeah.
and it's that second part that always gets forgotten about. It's like, yeah, you know, I sacrificed my career, I sacrificed this, I sacrificed that for you. What did they do?
Yeah, no, exactly. And it, if they don't sacrifice anything, you're setting the tone for how the rest of
Yep.
the relationship's going to go. They don't just magically begin to sacrifice shit.
No.
That's not how that works.
You know, I know I keep bringing up my relationship, but that's, you know, that's kind of what I know.
Gotta speak from experience.
Yeah, I guess speak from marriage. My wife gave up a career in culinary to be with me, to have a family with me.
I'll tell you, I don't know how much of a sacrifice it is. Fuck that restaurant work.
But she was in line to run restaurants for
I'm being sarcastic, but
for a very well-known entertainment company. And she was like,
Hooters?
no. But she was like, my family comes first.
That's cool.
So
Well, hopefully she might not go right back to that position, but if she chooses to go back to work at some point, that's a job that's pretty much always in demand.
yeah,
You know, that's because the turnover in a restaurant, any kitchen, the turnover in any kitchen is quite high. Finding people to deal with that and the stress that comes with it is it's not the easiest thing to do. One of the hardest things to do is hire consistent cooks.
Yeah.
It's a real pain in the ass. I don't miss the restaurant business at all. Not the least.
no, and what she has told me and what I've seen, it is riddled with abuse of all kinds, all kinds.
Substance abuse, verbal and mental abuse, whatever, sexual misconduct. It's just it's a weird place. It's like working in a locker room.
Yeah, working in a co-ed locker room.
Yeah, with fryers and a grill.
Hey, just make sure you clean the prep table afterwards.
Ugh,
I heard I heard a manager when I worked for Shoney's, and she was good friends with one of the cooks. Came to find out she was banging him on the side.
Yeah, good friends.
She's-
That's what they're calling it.
Right. She said she had the nerve to tell him. She said, "Hey, I need you to work. Stay late tomorrow, whatever." He was like, "I can't do it." He smirked. I heard her say these exact words. "Do you want me to cut your cock off and put it on a burner?"
I'm telling, bro, you don't understand. It's,
It's the fuck.
Look, this is another generalization, but it's a very high percentage. So I might be generalizing, but this is like well over 50%. Everybody in the restaurant industry is broken to some degree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mentally broken, emotionally broken, some physically broken, substance abuse. Like, I mean, I worked at a popular restaurant in Leesburg, and well, it's the only popular restaurant in Leesburg, so you know what it was.
well, there's two of them. You worked for one.
I worked for one of them, and the manager's daughter had a cocaine thing, and she would always come in and then leave early, but she'd come in at 4 and be cut at volume. So one day she came in and got cut and took my volume. And they're like, BJ, you got to close. I was like, no, I don't. I was like, I'm the volume. They're like, no, you got to close. Jacqueline went home. Oops, slipped. And I was like, why do I got to close? Because she's got a cocaine problem. That did not go over well. I was fired months later, a month or two later. 'Cause for some reason, they didn't like that because I could identify the booger sugar. Yeah, so that was tough.
Yeah, and I thought IT was bad because I mean I've literally walked into bathrooms at places I've been employed at, and there has been coke, there's been heroin done in the bathroom.
Oh, I'm probably sure there's a ton of Adderall too.
Oh yes.
Just a weird situation, those restaurants, I say.
But people, our advice to you, just as a whole, if you're good, if you want to put yourself out there at the date, first of all, put yourself out there. Like, be willing to be hurt. It's going to happen. But also be honest with yourself. Be honest of who you are, what you are, what you were looking for. And you will find somebody. And again, sometimes the pools are shallow, sometimes the pools are deep. Sometimes you have to look at other ponds. But understand there are the people out there, they're just people.
Just don't date servers that had everything handed to them.
There's like 5 professions that you should just never date. There's, servers, obviously,
Nurses?
strippers,
Nurses.
nurses,
Yeah, because as soon as the doctor comes available, they're sucking that dick.
ladies who clean topless. I mean,
Shit. Shit. That's not her main job.
she retired from her main job.
I don't think she retired. According to Twitter, she's not retired.
Oh, she's still active?
She's still sitting on them parking poles.
That's what Doing's got a smile on his face.
Goddamn 2-liter.
Nah. I just, when it comes, all right. So, quick question.
Goddamn climate
So-
in that thing.
If one of your buddies was dating a porn star and didn't know it,
First of all,
he's
how
in
would you
love with
not know?
this actually happened in California. I read a story on Reddit about this dude was dating this woman.
Because everything you read on Reddit is true.
I mean, he gave it a count. So, but apparently he met this woman in California. No, actually, he met her in Utah. That's on the story. And then one of his, I think it was a family member of his, recognized her as like, "Hey, do you know who you're dating?" He was like, "No." And he didn't say the woman's name, but I guess he said the porn star's name. He was like, "Who was that?" He was like, "You don't know who that is?" And he showed her a picture of her. So then he went and then he asked, he was like, "Hey, like, I didn't know you did adult film." She was like, "Yeah, that was my past life, but I've changed. I found God." Blah, blah, blah. He's like, "Okay, cool." So he asked
Well,
her.
she
He
was
like,
saying, "Oh God," that's for sure.
So he asked her, like, do you ever want to go back to that life? So she was like, "No, I don't. It was horrible, blah, blah, blah." Well, he later came to find out that she was a cam girl.
By yourself?
And, huh?
By yourself?
I guess he said, the story said that he was a cam girl. Well, she was a cam girl. And then he later found out because he moved in with her. Yeah, he moved in
Saw
with
that
her,
setup.
and while he was going to work, that's when she would do her cam time.
Okay, so
I just want you to know, we all have the setup to be cam guys.
yeah, it's true.
I'm
Ain't no
just
one want to say
putting-
this.
I'm just putting that out there.
So
I don't know what Adam's gonna do with his kids while he's working, but
lock the door. So I'm gonna say this. So he confronted her.
Mhm.
He said, "Hey, this is what I'm hearing.
Mhm.
What is going on?"
Yeah, and she admitted it.
From the story, she said, "This is my past life. I have moved on."
Right.
If it stops there,
we're good.
it's awkward. But if you have feelings for each other, you're good. My concern is what happened afterwards. Because you
Right.
said when he moved in with her, she would still do stuff on camera.
Well, hold on now. Is a porn star and a cam girl the same
Well,
thing?
okay.
Right.
Qualification here for a second. Just a second. Okay. So
She's just masturbating with an audience.
no, I'm
Right.
gonna make sure that we all understand terminology. Okay. So if you're in a movie, just movie, are you an actor? Or are you a movie star?
Depends.
No. You're not going to do that. That's a horrible analogy. Erase that. Because none of that involves dicks.
But no,
So, like-
but see, here's my point. You can be an actress and not a star.
No. Cam girl is different from a porn star. A cam girl is somebody who flicks her bean on a camera in her bedroom by herself.
Right.
A porn star could get railed from anywhere between 1 and 11 guys at any given night.
But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, see, if you do all 11, that's a star. if you're scoring 50 points a night, you're a star. If you're in the NBA scoring 8 points a night, you're an NBA player.
Well, here's the deal. If she's taking me on trips for flicking her bean in her bedroom,
I have more concern about her lying than I do anything else.
oh no, she said she was not active in porn.
Right. Right. She went in the porn. Right. Exactly.
He didn't ask if she was a cam girl.
No. From what Dorian said, she was done with that life.
Yeah.
Getting fucked by dudes, yeah. She's done with that life. Getting fucked by random dudes, she's done with it.
Right.
Look, I can forgive a lot of things. And,
So could you
look,
give
if
us?
she, here's the thing, and this would be where it gets awkward. I'd go get tested because she didn't tell me first, so I would do that. And if she had a problem with that, I mean, she'd have to reevaluate. She'd have to do some of the introspection. She'd have to look at herself and be like, why am I getting mad about this? He's justified to do that. So I'd go get tested. If everything came back, I would ask her when her last test was. And if I really it's tough, man. If you really care about somebody, you're willing to overlook a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
Even
as
an
someone
11-man
who's
gangbang?
What? Bro, what you
Even
know,
an
what'd you say?
11-man gangbang, you fell in love with a girl who had an 11-man gangbang.
Dorian, I've known you long enough to know that if she attempts to suck your butthole through the tip of your dick, you're going to overlook a lot of shit.
as somebody who has dated somebody that worked at a club, you will overlook a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that guac 5,000. You ain't even had the 5,000 yet. You only had the 3,000. You don't even know about the 5,000. 5,000 will send you to surgery.
That's the vacuum cleaner.
Oh, 2 pump chump. There would be no pumps. You won't even be going to heaven. She'll have both souls in her.
So, yes, you can
Yeah, no,
overlook a
I'm-
lot. Like I said, my concern is not so much of what of our activities. It was the lying and twisting of truths that I would have
It's not
issues
a-
with.
It's not a lie. There's a difference between a porn star and a cam girl. If she's still fucking dudes on camera in her bedroom, she's still a porn star to some degree, an amateur porn star. But if she's just in there diddling, in
No,
her
see,
spare time,
and this goes back to my qualifications. Because if you're doing all 11, that's a star. If you're doing by yourself, you're still in the industry, but you're an actress.
porn actress, you're hung up on the star thing. You do this. You get hung up on one word and try to prove a point. Porn actress. So she's a porn actress if she's getting railed by random dudes for money. She's a cam girl if she's just in there doing a little diddling in the bedroom while you're at work. But here's the thing. I'm going to ask her, do you plan on having kids? And if she says yes, then we have another conversation to have.
Yes,
Yeah.
because your kids will find it.
We can't be
Oh,
doing
yeah.
this. We can't be doing. They're probably going to find it. It's going to be out there.
Yeah,
There's porn. The ability to remove amateur porn from the internet is better than it ever has been. It's still not great. It's still not great.
Right.
But like you can probably get it off of Twitter because you can file copyright things and stuff like that and get it pulled off of Twitter.
you can get it off reputable sites.
Yeah, But the ones that give you viruses, you ain't getting it off of there.
No.
Yeah. No.
No,
Especially
hell
overseas. One that
no. Hell no.
get to overseas. Oh yeah.
Nah, you're done. Have you spread eagle for life?
Yeah.
But no, I would have that conversation. If you intend to have children, this has got to come to an end at some point. And if you can't handle this, maybe you need to see a therapist. Like if you can't quit it, if you feel the need to continue to do this, and it's not just like money related, if it's something else inside of you, then you might need to talk to
Well,
somebody.
and that's the thing. I don't want to quote percentages, but a high number of actresses and stars in that industry have issues before they start.
Oh,
And that's
absolutely.
yeah, and that's why
Absolutely.
they start.
Sexual assault issues or drug issues or substance abuse, anything could
Yeah.
be anything.
So, and my thing is, you talk about having kids. If the conversation is the issue, you want to have kids, well, the damage is already done. Yeah, you should probably stop it going forward, but it's already out there.
Yeah, for sure. It's I don't know. I could probably deal with it. I don't see any reason why not. I'd probably have to take a minute and do some thinking.
Like I
I
said,
don't want
it would be awkward knowing that other people have seen your girlfriend or wife naked.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, Adam, other people seen your wife naked.
Yeah. Now,
So it's like
most people walking down the street
not,
have not, though. That's
just
the
not
difference.
a couple 100,000.
Yeah.
So that's the trick of it. I mean, I don't know. It is kind of cool walking through the general public knowing that she's here and not there.
Yeah.
Like,
And you walk into JCPenney's with her on your arm, you know what every man in that room is thinking.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And you know that they wish they were them. They were you.
yeah, for sure. Unless they're one of them Christian hypocrites, and then they bitch about it, even though they've seen all the videos.
They own the collection. It's like a 30 for 30.
Yeah.
So, on that happy note, ladies and gentlemen, we'll call it a night. So, this has been Sandlot Sports.
Ooh.